WOWO, 1190 AM, 107.5 FM.
We're talking about the situation at the southern border, and really that's been the hot topic all morning long. And naturally, lawmakers can't seem to agree on how to handle the situation. To learn more, we go to Alfredo Lozano. He's a bilingual attorney based in Texas and knows and understands immigration issues on both a personal and professional level. With that, good morning, Alfredo.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. In fact, just talk to me here. Whether you want to call it a challenge or a crisis, can we agree there is a problem along the southern border?
I'm not afraid to call it a crisis. It is a crisis. But I think it's a crisis that slowly the Biden administration is catching up to, and in the sense that it seems they're coming up with solutions. Department of Homeland Security just announced on yesterday, I think, that they're going to continue to expel families and single adults, but they will not expel young children, right? They're not just going to let them go back into the desert, unknown parts of Mexico. So they are going to process them, and it seems it will take some time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they believe they want to spend $86.9 million to house some of these unaccompanied minors in the meantime while all of this processing is happening. So that's one way I know that Democrats, quote, want to handle the situation. On the flip side, what do Republicans want to do? Or what would they like to see done?
I think if Republicans could do it, they would do what they were doing a year ago, a couple of months ago, is just not let anybody in. And I don't think that is, I don't think that's very safe for young children that are fleeing from a country or fleeing from a situation where maybe their lives are in danger. And then these are probably, most likely, we don't have the statistics yet. These are probably young children that are coming to the United States, and I would probably guess maybe 50 to 80%. These children already have their parents here, and probably the parents here have already been here for a couple of years. So I think they're just trying to reunite with their parents. That's what I'm guessing.
I don't understand, Alfredo, who in their right mind would send their child across such a treacherous, dangerous journey. It's drug cartels and sex traffickers. I mean, how and why is that even happening to begin with?
I think that's what they're still investigating. I think it's a combination of two things. Is sending their children, and the truth is they pay for a coyote, right? They pay for someone to help them come in or come to the border and try to come into the United States. So it's not like a 7-year-old or 8-year-old is walking by themselves. Maybe when they're approaching the border, the last half mile, most likely they are. Obviously, the coyote doesn't want to be identified on national news. But I think, it sounds like they're mostly being accompanied by an older adult, a coyote, who kind of just drops off the picture the last half mile. I'm assuming that's what's going on. And then they're doing it because I assume as well that their life is in danger. If you just said it yourself right now. It's a dangerous journey. The Biden administration and the Secretary of Homeland Security, they have announced, don't do it, don't come to the U.S. They're telling everybody the border is closed, but what do we do when a 9-year-old, 10-year-old shows up at the border? We just can't throw them back to the desert. That is not who we are as Americans.
On a personal level, because I know that you are a first-generation American, you've lived abroad, you know what it's like to live as a guest in a foreign country. You even helped your wife immigrate to America. So in your professional and personal opinion, I guess, blending the two together, what should be done then to address, as you called it, this crisis at the southern border, whether it be families or these unaccompanied minors? As a whole, what should be done to address this situation?
I think the first thing we need to address is actually a law that is currently, or a proposal that already passed the House. It's in front of the Senate right now. We've got a great opportunity to start fixing our immigration system. Hopefully the Senate will pass this law, and it's going to start by helping dreamers that have been here many, many years with their parents. But right now, let's just focus on the dreamers. Let's help them become legal permanent residents, right? Mm-hmm. Not U.S. citizens. So I want to clarify that, because I think the media gets it wrong. The politicians get it wrong. Everybody starts talking about, oh, they're going to become U.S. citizens. No, they don't become U.S. citizens. They become permanent residents. And during any time of their permanent resident journey, if they misbehave, guess what? We can kick them out, right? So these are people that don't have criminal records that can become permanent residents. That's number one. So pass these two laws. Number two is have the Biden administration and Congress start working with these countries to see what can we do to help them so they're not fleeing their country. And I'm sure, the politicians will come up with something else, but they have to act. And that's the thing, is we haven't addressed the issue. We're pretending it's not there. There was a Republican congresswoman out of Florida recently that has even proposed another law that I think will help. So I think if they act and they just sit down at the same table and really talk about what needs to be done and start pulling the trigger little by little, start proposing and passing some laws, I think we can have some solutions within the next 6 to 9 months.
Boy, Alfredo, I wish I could buy you a cup of coffee and chit-chat with you for an hour, but unfortunately we are way out of time. I went way over our time limit, but I appreciate you joining us here this morning on WOWO.
Thank you.